Good afternoon, Dr. Ruta Dharmadhikari, madam.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get started here. Right.
Welcome, ma'am.
Hello, namaste. I'll just try and see if everything is okay. I can see it. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, ma'am. We can hear you clearly. Your audio, video, everything is okay.
It's all right. Yeah. I'll just see if I can screen share. If I have to share the screen, what do I do? I'll have to open it up on my computer.
Yeah, on laptop, you minimize the PPT.
I will have to minimize it first. Okay.
First.
I'll have to keep it minimized. 1 minute.
Ma'am, just click on share screen.
Yeah.
First open your PPT and after just click on screen.
Yeah, 1 minute. Huh? Yeah, now I will have to share screen.
Share screen.
But I can't see anything.
No, just click on screen.
Yeah, I've shared screen.
But PPT is
There's a
not
share
visible,
screen
ma'am.
there, no? So
Yeah, share screen.
So there's one participant can share a time, multiple participants. So one, right?
One participant.
This is you just have to open that PPT.
Yeah, I've kept it open and I've minimized it.
Okay. Now you open that PPT in the background. After
Okay,
that,
I'll open it
just
in the
click
background.
on the screen, and after that,
Should I minimize it or open it?
No. You have to open it, your PPT. After you have to come on the Zoom meeting, then share screen option you have to select, and after minimize your meeting, then we can see.
What I'll do is I think I'll send you my PPT. Is that okay?
Yes, no worry.
Yes, please send.
Yeah, I'll just give you my, can you just share your email ID with me?
Ma'am, you can also send on your WhatsApp.
On WhatsApp? Okay.
Yeah.
1 minute.
Dr. Sarnaik, sir, please unmute Oucher, madam. Dr. Abhijit Sarnaik, sir.
Ma'am, I have made
Yes, he has done, madam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Has the problem of PPT sharing been resolved?
No, not yet, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Fine. Let us wait. Yeah, let's wait. Yeah.
Is there any problem, madam? Ruta, madam?
Hello, Ruta madam. Hello. Hello.
I'm co-host. Now let me see if I can share screen. Okay, I share screen. Huh?
Co-Curricular Excellence.
Okay, आला नहीं है share.
Desktop. Share कर. Just share it. Yes, open system. Wait, wait.
होतंय का मॅडम स्क्रीन शेअर?
मी पाहते I'm just trying. नाहीतर तो खूप मोठा होतोय.
तुमची पीपीटी पाठवून द्या मॅडम, नाहीतर मग आपण इकडून शेअर करू.
नाहीतर ती पीपीटी कशी पाठवायची ते पाहायचंच आहे. पीपीटी कुठून पाहता येईल? किती पाठवून देता येईल का त्यांना?
email.
ईमेल लागेल. मॅडम तुमचं ईमेल वरच पाठवेन, ती खूप मोठी आहे. मला व्हॉट्सअपवर ईमेल पाठवा ना.
Ma'am, I just share with you.
Huh?
I just text you.
You
Yeah,
text.
yeah, he is forwarding you the email address, madam.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
आता हे ईमेल
It might be 25 MB and more, larger than 25 MB.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah.
आता मला मी डेल वरनं सुरू करू का ते घेऊ? नाही, थांबून द्या. संयुक्त
मॅडम व्हॉट्सअपला येत नाहीये का?
May not be possible, madam.
व्हॉट्सअप में वर नहीं होना.
Yes.
I'll have to do it on email only.
Email, yes. As drive link, it can be received.
अभिजित सर तुम्ही ईमेल आयडी
ते
देतायत का?
कुठून घ्यायचं संयुक्त? ते कुठून घ्यायचं? ते पॉवर पॉइंट माझं ते कुठून घ्यायचं? How do I want to send this by email. Hey.
Where is your email?
Yeah.
Open your email.
Attach it from where? It's not in this, it's in PowerPoint. Where's my PowerPoint? It's in applications. Share. आणि हे कुठे? तुम्ही व्हॉट्सअप वरनं पाठवलाय का?
मॅडम मी मेल पाठवलाय तुम्हाला.
मला मेल पाठवला
चॅट बॉक्स मध्ये, झूम चॅट बॉक्स मध्ये.
झूम चॅट बॉक्स मध्ये. अरे अच्छा, मला व्हॉट्सअप वर पाठवाल का मॅडम?
येस
व्हॉट्सअप वर पाठवा प्लीज.
Yes.
या काय करून पाहिजे?
Settings and privacy.
करून दे ना.
Yes, madam.
Yeah, I'm just sending you.
Yeah. Okay, madam.
LQAC K JMM.
Lokar, madam. It would have been IQAC.
IQAC है कि LQAC है?
IQAC, madam.
I. Okay, sorry.
IQAC, madam.
I है ना, छोटा I. IQAC IQACKJMM@gmail.com.
Yeah.
बरोबर?
हो बरोबर मॅडम.
आता पाठवलं आहे, पहा मिळालं असेल तर बघा.
जस्ट
मिळालं मॅडम आपल्याला?
येस मॅडम, येस.
हो मॅडम, भेटलं मला एकच.
या तुम्हाला मिळालं की झालं?
You know what the issue is? That is not allowed.
I did not allow.
Abhi sir, please check screen sharing. Yeah, ma'am. Now it is visible.
Yeah. Now it's visible, na, to everyone.
Yeah, ma'am, it's visible now.
Thank you. माझ्यामुळे खूपच जास्त वेळ गेला आपला.
No, not at all.
Oh, not at all, ma'am.
So
It's
sorry, so
okay.
sorry.
No. We all are now on online platform, and we should means we are now shifting from offline to online, and we have to cope with all
नाही,
these
मला
things.
ना ऐकू येत नव्हतं मॅडम. एक मिनिट. Can you be a little more loud?
Okay. Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah.
Now we are now getting with the technology.
I know. I know. काही न काही प्रॉब्लेम्स होतातच नाही, काय करणार.
Yeah.
But I just hope I'm so thankful to you for having borne with me all this. एक मिनिटात आपण सुरू करूया. Yeah.
Abhijit sir?
Lohkare, madam?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes,
Everything
madam.
okay?
Yes, madam. Now everything is okay.
Fine, fine. So let us
yeah.
start right now.
I have made you 15 minutes late. I am so sorry. Maybe we should have. Yeah. Thank you so much for being so patient, madam.
A very good afternoon, madam. A good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon.
The resource
Ma'am,
person.
shall we begin? Shall we begin the session, ma'am?
Yes, sure.
Yeah. So I request Dr. Sangeeta Uchar, madam, to proceed further.
Thank you, Lohkare, madam. A very good afternoon, one and all who have joined this online platform of FDP Day 5th to listen to the topic Skilling Graduates the NEP Way, a case study of LAD College Nagpur. That is, the deliberation is prepared by Dr. Ruta Dharmadhikari, madam, the head of the Department of English, LAD and Srimati RP College for Women, Nagpur. I welcome all the participants, all the dignitaries who have joined this phenomena of FDP, the academic endeavor. Right from last 4 days, we all are listening to various topics related to the NEP, the effective implementation of the NEP. And today's topic stands more important, skilling graduates the NEP way. So the organizers, the Department of IQAC of our college, the IQAC coordinator, Lohkare madam, our honorable principal sir, who has always been providing guidance in this regard, our honorable directors of the institution, today's resource person, Dr. Ruta Dharmadhikari madam, and all the dignitaries, all the participants who have joined all the way in this endeavor right from all over India. We welcome you all on behalf of our college, late Sau Kamaltai Zamkar Mahila Mahavidyalaya Parbhani. Now, skilling the graduates is the topic that Dr. Ruta Dharmadhikari madam is going to enlighten us with. There was one friend of mine named Ruchita Dharmadhikari, who was my friend during my 11th science studies. And I recollected those memories after knowing your name that it is Ruta. We welcome you, madam. A very warm welcome on behalf of my college, Late Sau Kamaltai Zamkar Mahila Mahavidyalaya Parbhani.
Thank you.
And I am here to introduce the participants, the resource persons who have joined, the previous resource persons also are present in this session of today. And I'm here to make you introduce with Dr. Ruta Dharmadhikari madam, today's resource person. Ruta Dharmadhikari madam is the head and associate professor, Department of English, LAD and Srimati RP College, Nagpur. Her areas of academic interest and research are poetry, film, media, gender, culture studies, higher education, and quality assurance. She is the course coordinator of the certificate course in soft skills in her college. She is founder, editor, and mentor of the college students e-magazine. The Department of English instituted the Dr. Kamlan Memorial Lecture in her college in honor of its former HOD in 2021 under her guidance. She runs the college film club Cinecon, which is affiliated to the Federation of Film Societies of India. As SQAC coordinator, she works closely with students and mentors their emotional and spiritual growth through activities like Culture Katta, the Book Club, and Art, Ada and Aura, the Cultural Feast. She has delivered academic lectures at multiple forums and chaired conference panels at several international conferences. She is on the advisory board of the Vidarbha Literary Festival and is an active moderator for the same. She is an active member of Cine Monte, the oldest film society in central India. She has organized an international poetry festival and international film festivals for her college. She is a certified trainer for the British Council to teach business English communication and spoken English and has trained various batches of students. She is an academic counselor for the Diploma in Creative Writing course for IGNOU. She translates literature from Marathi into English and is anthologized. She has presented nationally and internationally research papers on films and theory and published book chapters taking up literature and films for analysis. So this was very moderate introduction that was available of Dr. Ruta Dharmadhikari Madam. Besides, I came to know that Madam is the gold medalist of her university. And there are many similarities between you and me in this regard, as far as the gold medalist, being gold medalist is concerned, that both belong to women's college and many more similarities are there. Of course, this is not the platform to discuss all these things. We may discuss these things later on. And now it is already a little bit late. So I actually invite Ruta Dharmadhikari Madam to kindly deliver her speech regarding skilling graduates, the NEP way, a case study of her college. Let us start with the deliberation, dear Madam.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, and I apologize profusely right at the beginning for creating this tardiness on my part and making all of us late. So without further ado, I'll just dive right in. And I would really like to express my thanks to the late Sau Kamaltai Zamkar Mahila Mahavidyalaya Parbani for inviting me to address my fellow teachers across the country who are participants of the FDP today on implementation of the National Education Policy, challenges and opportunities in HEIs. So I am just one like you. I mean, if we can go to the next slide, I am just the same as you are. Those of you who are participants here, I am one of them. Can we have the next slide, please? Yeah. So we are here to discuss the implementation and challenges and opportunities of implementing this NEP, the challenges and opportunities faced by HEIs. It has created such a buzz of excitement among all those people who find the merits of the National Education Policy doable, and it has created a wave of skepticism for those who find its implementation extremely challenging. And therefore, the title of this particular faculty development program is very ingenious. It is the implementation of NEP, whether it is possible, how possible it is, whether it is idealistic, how futuristic it is, and what kinds of things we need to put in place, what is already in place, and what more needs to be done in order to meet the prerequisites of this policy. That is what we have been deliberating for the past 3-4 days. Today, I'm going to just share with you a little bit about what my college does, knowing that I'm just like you. I'm sure all you people are also doing the same things in your colleges. We are all striving towards a sort of excellence that is inherent and inbuilt in us. We are all the victims of NAC, as I can say, because we have been in the process of documenting all the work that we do. And it's a challenging task, documenting everything. Next slide, please. What we have always thought that, what is the purpose here of higher education? What is the new education policy? There is so much buzz, there's so much talk. We say that the GER is a mere 26%, it needs to reach 50% by 2040. We say that the budgetary allowance for education has to be an idealistic 6% of India's GDP. Today, actually, it has reduced from 4.14% in 2014 to 3% in 2022. So in its introduction, what does the NEP do? The NEP, the policy document, actually, if you take a overall view, it sums up its aims and objectives and gives us a vision. What does it envision? The National Education Policy envisions an education system that is rooted in an Indian ethos. It contributes directly to transforming India, that is Bharat, sustainably into an equitable and vibrant knowledge society. It aims to provide high quality education to all, and thereby making India a global knowledge superpower. What else does it envisage? That the curriculum and pedagogy of our institutions must develop among the students a deep sense of respect towards the fundamental duties and constitutional values, bonding with one's country, conscious awareness of one's roles and responsibilities in a changing world. Now, all this, these are high-sounding phrases, big words, sustainable development, economic development, sustainable livelihoods, knowledge, these are huge words. But what exactly does it say that we need? It motivates us to go towards an outcome-based education. And first and foremost, I feel it aims at creating good human beings. What kind of human beings? Those who are aware of one's roles and responsibilities in a changing world. Simplifying all that heavy-sounding terminology, I feel that overall, what is the new education policy? It wants to instill in us a deep-rooted pride of being an Indian. It wants to nurture dispositions in us that support responsible commitment to human rights. All in all, we need to have a global well-being. And what does it want us to have? A democratic, just, socially conscious, cultured, and humane society. Every education policy post-independence has focused on creating a just and equitable society. It's not that it is the first time. We're not coming up with something new. But higher education is a means to that end of creating a just and equitable society, which is based on the principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity. Next slide, please. So the vision is to instill amongst learners a huge and deep-rooted pride, basically to reflect what it means to be a truly global citizen. I'm going to read a little bit from that vision document or the policy. And it says that the vision of the policy is to instill among learners a deep-rooted pride in being Indian, not only in thought, but also in spirit, intellect, and deeds, as well as to develop knowledge, skills, values, and dispositions that support responsible commitment to human rights, sustainable development and living, global well-being, thereby reflecting a truly global citizen. This almost sounds like a post-colonial take on Macaulay's Minutes, if I got that kind of a sense. But the evolution of education policies in India has been the way that you see on your slide. We have had so many education commissions. And today we have reached the stage where the K. Kasturirangan Committee report of 2019 has been adopted in 2020 on July 29th. Next slide, please. So what is so great about the NEP 2020? As I said, it's an idealistic document. And most important are these 5-6 words that you see highlighted on your screen: access, equity, quality, affordability, and accountability, in order to make us a global knowledge superpower by 2040. Now, that is a very, very ambitious task, I feel. I feel it is a hugely ambitious task. But each education policy has had big dreams. It is not for the dreaming that is lacking sometimes. As we know, it is for the lack in implementability or the ability in our minds to understand that something can be implemented. Next slide, please. And so, as we read the policy documents, I discovered a paragraph where the policy admits its challenges. Section 9.2 of the NEP is where you will find these 11 points where in the beginning of the policy document, the writers have admitted that these are the challenges that we face. I'll quickly go through them, that we have a fragmented system, that there is very little emphasis on cognitive skills development and learning outcomes, that there is a rigid separation of disciplines, that there is limited access to higher education in socially disadvantaged communities, that there are language barriers to higher education, there is very limited teacher and institutional autonomy. But people are scared of autonomy nowadays, whereas we complain of not being free enough to do what we need and what we want as teachers as well as institutions. There is limited mechanism for merit-based career management. There's very little emphasis on action research. There is suboptimal governance and leadership. And there is an ineffective regulatory system. And there are low standards of undergraduate education. All this, the new education policy admits in a paragraph in section 9.2. How do we overcome these challenges? The rest of the policy documents is extremely doable. It's extremely exciting. It's extremely inspirational. Anyone with any kind of idealistic visions of education and wanting to do great things for our country will use the NEP as its Bible, as its Gita, and say, okay, this is my guidebook, this is my guide plan. Next slide, please. But there are these challenges, and how do we overcome them? So the vision of the NEP for all HEIs is to completely overhaul an existing system which is in place. Now, that is what it says. Again, these two words I've taken from the policy document, the new education policy, that we need a complete overhaul. In which ways? Holistically, multidisciplinarily, there should be a flexibility. Our education should suit 21st century needs. We should create global competencies. And at the end, a very stark and simple statement. We have to bring out the unique capabilities of each student. The whole education policy of the whole nation, a national education policy, can be reduced to one statement that we have to bring out the unique capabilities of each student. We can go back and forth. We can interchange these points. We can see how it is going to be holistic, how it is multidisciplinary, how it is flexible. Next slide, please. I want to talk about what exactly are 21st century competencies. But before that, let me draw your attention to the fact that those of us who have prepared our college documentation for the self-study reports, the self-study we have done, the SWOT analysis have done, we have already filled in this particular point in the SSRs. How ready are we for the NEP? What is the institutional readiness for the NEP? The NAC already requires a concrete vision from all HEIs as it has implemented the national education policy. The government is very clear. The NAC is also clear. Here we are on the brink, it's only the second year since the implementation, July 2020. In these 2 years, NAC has already told us at this particular point, where are you in terms of these 6 points? And we have all written paragraphs in those little boxes as to what we think our institutional readiness for our NEP is. And we already have been scratching our heads. What do we put into these boxes? What are we going to do? What do we need? What is the meaning of multidisciplinarity? Those of us who are single colleges and single faculty colleges, or at the most 2, arts and commerce, arts and science, engineering, only engineering. How are we in the world going to follow, and how are we going to be able to fit into these 6 points? It's impossible, madam. Oh, sir, it's impossible. All of us have been overwhelmed by this seemingly impossible task Some of us have rejected it. No, NEP is not possible. बहुत ही futuristic है, बहुत ही idealistic है. हमारे गांव खेड़े में कहाँ मिलेगा ऐसा? कौन सा multidiscipline? एक discipline सीखते नहीं है, मुश्किल से कॉलेज में आते हैं. Multidisciplinary से कहाँ से आएगा? ये क्या ABC लगा रखा है? ये XYZ क्या है? What is this bank of credits? कौन सा credit? Calculate कैसे करेंगे? So much of it is so daunting and intimidating. But the more we think, friends, whether it is possible, the more we read the National Education Policy document, the more we read every paragraph, we realize that it is a very aphoristic document. The language of that document also is simple. It's not full of jargon. It's easily understandable. And the beauty of the language and style of the writing of the NEP is that every sentence makes some sort of sense. It is up to us to interpret the policy to our abilities and go forward and want to know more. Next slide, please. 1 minute. Before I come to this slide, can you just go back to the last slide? I'd like to draw your attention to number 4, 5, and 6. Number 1, 2, and 3 have been discussed quite at length. And number 2, the academic bank of credits, I'll come to later on in my talk also. But as I mentioned in my second slide, focus on outcome-based education. We already have been told to restructure our syllabi in order to make sure that there is an outcome-based syllabus and outcome-based curriculum. That is the most important part for me of the NEP. What is the outcome of an education policy? The distance education, online education, appropriate integration of Indian knowledge, all this comes, all skill development, credits and all that is okay. Number 5 for me is the most important part of institutional readiness. Next slide, please. Quickly, I want to take you through what are 21st century global competencies. We keep hearing this. Global competencies, global stage, global education. What is this global? Definition for global competency is this. These are the skills and attitudes that students need in order to be successful in the 21st century. And we need to think about it because we are living in the 21st century. And we have seen these 6 points or these 6 phrases, 7 phrases on and off, often and often enough. Why do you feel that these are still such critical global competencies? I see it because we, as a global village or as a cosmopolitan soul that I am, I feel we need to keep on developing these skills. And unfortunately today, I find very little of critical thinking ability around me. Forget students, around me. Very few people engage in critical thinking. Very few people know how to communicate. That is the biggest challenge which the pandemic has heightened. It already was there. Nobody is willing to collaborate. Why should we create and what kind of innovation? Why this self-directed learning? Where is the civic literacy? All these are huge challenges for me. Whereas they are not so difficult or huge as they seem to be. These words in English seem to be very daunting. But when we start dissecting the terminologies and we realize it in our own mother tongues, what does it actually mean? Critical thinking. आपले आजा म्हणायच्या, हमारी नानी बोलती थी, अरे दिमाग लगा, use your head, use your brain. समोर दिसता problem, use your brain and solve that problem. We did not need these critical terminologies earlier. Why do we need them now? I feel that these are just put in place for us to get a strategy, a structure to our lives. The last part of this slide, civic literacy, global awareness, and cross-cultural skills are the most important for me. Civic literacy is the 21st century global competency which we Indians lack. And our focus has to be on that. The minute you learn to be a global citizen, the minute you learn to be an Indian citizen, the minute you learn to be a citizen of your city or your village, you have achieved a global competency. Next slide, please. And so I interpret these critical terminologies in this way. Anybody, the ability to be equal to any person on the globe is a global competency. The ability to slip into any culture, any geography without prejudice is a global competency. The ability to work with anyone from diverse backgrounds than one's own is a global competency. The ability to be multilingual and proficient in at least one global language. And that can be English. A foreign language for us is English. No matter how much we say that English is an Indian language, still for so many of us, it is a foreign language and it can be treated as such. So therefore, we have these translation courses and translation studies. The most important thing for me is to ability to shoulder responsibility. वो बहुत कम दिखती है. Forget students, even adults do not want to shoulder responsibility. The ability to have research and implementation acumen. The mobility between courses at different national and international universities. Mobility between. You can move from one place to another. You don't have to feel scared. Oh, this is out of my reach. Next slide, please. These are just two images that I have picked up from the net. They are easily available. I'm going to skip this slide a little bit. I'm going to go fast because I'm already made everybody late. But again, if you type in images of the NEP, you will see that 21st century competencies require this kind of thing. And one, again, as I say, cross-cultural understanding. The most important word for me here is adaptability. Adaptability is the key. Responsible decision-making is the key. Relationship management is the key. And therefore, critical and inventive thinking is going to help us through the NEP. It has helped me in my college when I have come across any problem. I have always taken up all these words that you see here. I've tried to bring that into my own life. I've tried to be an effective communicator. I do not work alone. I believe in team building. I believe in implementing the strategies. I inculcate dynamic and positive attitudes in the most reluctant student, the most reluctant colleague. I fight and fight with my management to get resource mobilization done. I use visualization techniques, these words that you find at the bottom of my slide. I visualize what I want. I dream, and I dream big. And I do not say die without a fight. Next slide, please. This also is an image I've taken from the internet. I'm not going to dwell too much time on it. It tells you what is ABCs, what is Research Foundation, that it will be affiliation will end in 15 years. We'll have national institutes for our indigenous Indian languages. We'll have gender inclusion funds. All this you can read. Next slide, please. We come to my college. My college is a 90-year-old woman. It is an old woman, in fact. But we try and think that we are 90 years young. And we are committed to the cause of women empowerment. We already are a multidisciplinary college. We have fulfilled one of the aspects of the national education policy. Our founding fathers were visionaries. Our past 11 principals that we have had were amazing dynamic women. They were the pride of Nagpur, and I'm so proud to belong to Nagpur now. I'm from Bombay, but I came here after my marriage and I was thrown into this profession, and I took it up with such joy and such enjoyment and such zest because the women in my college, students and teachers, were so amazing, especially my department of English. I couldn't have survived in a city as different from Bombay as Nagpur is had it not been for LED College. I say that with great pride. I say it with great pride because the Department of English had fantastic teachers. We were from across India. Fortunately, we had gathered in the Department of English in LED College. And for me, coming from a city like Bombay and being plunged into an all-women's college was very, very difficult to see only one gender all over the place. But because of its multidisciplinarity, I was able to move in and out of departments. The first year in my college, the first year for any faculty, the students have to offer English. So I have taught in all the departments in my college up till now. In the 31 years of my service, I have been able to reach out and connect with every single student. Our college has been awarded with College for Potential for Excellence. It has a superbly proactive and supportive management. It is big. It has 2 campuses, 26 acres in one, 4 acres in another. It has all the infrastructure that is required for a modern college. We also belong to a cluster of college. So that's another second thing of the NEP, which we already are fulfilling. that we are belonging to a cluster. And I proudly say that Lady Amritbai Daga College is the lead college of our cluster. And we are involved as a cluster as well as individually in the various student-related competitions that are available in the country. Next, please. We already have holistic and all-round development at LED College. These are the various faculties. And the last point in my slide, you will see the various departments where the students from all over Central India come to study in our fantastic college. We offer architecture, interior design, cosmetic technology, hotel management, applied electronics, food and nutrition, textiles, extension management, and family resource management. Next, please. We have home science technology. The WES, the Women's Education Society of our college, runs these several institutions. So we are truly multidisciplinary. We offer education to young women, from the girl child to the adult woman, from UG to PG. We have a Balwadi, we have a school from 1st to 10th. We have an Arts, Science, Commerce and Home Science Technology College. We have an architecture college. We have a technical institute, and we have the Justice M.L. Paintsy School of Languages and Media Studies, where we teach journalism, creative writing, translation studies. I'll let you know more about that. So any one of you who are interested in coming to college and studying in my college, most welcome, because we have, if you remember, the ABC, we have the Academic Bank Credit Facility. We can go online, you can take credits from my college, any course that you want. Once it is all put in place, you are most welcome to come to LED College and avail of all the courses that are available here. Thank you. Next slide. We are the lead college. We have 11 colleges in the cluster, and each cluster has a student ambassador. That student ambassador connects the students of the whole cluster together. And with the students and teachers, a fantastic energy and a synergy is created. Each of these cluster colleges have access to our Saraswati Kanya Sangh basketball club, which is open to, our grounds are open to the young girls in the vicinity, in the city. It is not restricted to our college students. We have an adventure club, which is not restricted to our college club. We have Spick McKay, which is not restricted only. So we have a student, faculty, and resource exchange across the cluster, and intra-college and intra-department too. Next, please. All these things, we cut across boundaries. We are already interdisciplinary. So the NEP, which tells us to have interdisciplinarity, fortunately, in my college, we already are doing it since long. Now our focus and our challenge in my college is to enhance these things. We are facing many crunches. All of us are. The no recruitment policy and the no recruitment ban on all teachers and office staff has hit us very badly. But we are not going to crumble. We are not going to say die. What are we going to do? We are going to do even more, despite the crunch. And the soft skills certificate course, the Kamlan Memorial Lecture, and one more thing, the Jabberwocky online e-magazine. Friends, I'd like to share with you that these three things we started post-pandemic, during the pandemic, and more about that a little later. But we are very proud of the various kinds of things we do. And most colleges do that. Friends, let me tell you, all of us have NSS, NCC, SQAC, intercollegiate cultural festivals, Avishkar. All of us do that. What we can do further and how to implement it according to what these people want in the NEP, we just have to rejig ourselves a little bit. I'd like to assure you, nothing is impossible. Next slide, please. So we have optimal learning environments and student support. That is one part of the NEP, isn't it? I think point number 10 or something. That is the optimal learning environment. We offer student support with these many things. We have a counseling center. We have a human rights education cell, a women's study center, which is old and receiving funds from the UGC till it was stopped. We have a very healthy grievance redressal cell. And all these, many of these things, the student quality assurance cell is a nodal hub. I wish I could have I had enough time to draw a mind map for you. The quality assurance cell for students under the IQAC is a very vibrant and active cell, which makes sure that every student knows everything about about the college in various ways and whatever is required. We have a diet counseling cell. We have a village adoption plan. Hunar Se Rozgar Tak is one scheme which I will talk about a little later, which is really very interesting. Training and placement cell is there in every college. The NAC has ensured that all these things that you see on my slide, they weren't there, say, about 40 years ago. All this has happened post the first accreditation cycle. It has happened in every college. How we choose to expand it, how we choose to encourage it, how we choose to nurture these programs, how we choose to follow them and take active interest in their growth is the way we are going to fulfill the conditions of the NEP. Please, next slide. Our co-curricular excellence is amazing. I am very proud to say that we have the best NSS student awards, best program NSS program officer awards, best students in RTMNU. We participate in every academic and cultural competition and event. We have debaters, youth icons, Model United Nations winners, Avishkar winners. In sports, we have university color holders. Our students are at the Republic Day parade in New Delhi. Regularly, our NCC cadets are there. And the Thal Sainiks are felicitated. All these people are back in college. We give them a pat. I have forgotten to put that point in. We have a program called Pat on the Back. We encourage both teachers as students by patting them on the back. It is called simply Pat on the Back. And this motivates people to do more. We create ownership modules to be, I am an LADian. I'm proud to be an LADian. Ownership is the key. We have to own our space. We have to own our college. Next slide, please. We have alumni across the globe. 90 years, obviously, people are going to have stepped out of our college for the past 90 years. They are all over the place. And on a recent visit to the US, I just posted on Facebook that I'm here. One of my old students came driving all the way 150 kilometers. And she said, ma'am, because of you, I'm here at which position I am. The English department has been one of the best in the college. And what you ladies taught us, we have never forgotten. That warms the cockles of our heart. And as teachers, we live to hear these words from our students because we know we are doing a very, very good job. We have all these professions, women across the globe have come from LAD, have learned, and just 3 years, we are an undergraduate college. We don't have too many postgraduate departments, neither research centers. But what we do as undergraduates, the 3 years that my girls are with me, I make sure that they turn out just as fine as I have turned out from my college in Bombay. Next slide, please. So I value very much this particular cell, and I hope all of you in your college also, please start the Students Quality Assurance Cell. If you already haven't, even if you have, make sure that that becomes a nodal hub of the whole college for students' growth. What does it do? We do a 360-degree learning. We do capacity building. We do team building. We do knowledge sharing. We do peer mentoring. We do teacher and alumni mentoring. We do policies of inclusion. And all this is what the NEP wants us to do. If you create one space in a student's life, you say that you are going to come to my college from this time to that time. I, as a teacher, I, as a principal, I, as a head of the department, it is my job to make sure that the student who spends that much time in my campus is assured of a quality life, not just an education. How will I ensure quality? What kind of quality can I give my bacha who is on my campus? That is my responsibility as the teacher, because I have called him to my class. I have called her to my lab. I have called her to my sports ground. After that child comes to my space, it is my duty to make sure that that quality is given to that bacha in my space. And so, what should the students learn? In a quality assurance program, they will learn organizational behavior. They learn organizational structures. They learn organizational discipline. And in my college, I've started a culture katta. I've started a human library where students tell their own stories. The human beings have so many stories inside of them to share. We have created MIHU volunteers. What does MIHU mean? M-I-H-U, may I help you. We have lanyards and tags. May I help you? They move around the campus. Anyone who wants anything sees that green lanyard and a MIHU card. They say, come here, bacha, I want this. Or can I have that? Or Didi, may I know where this classroom is? Or I can't understand the timetable. May I know? May I take your help? We have MIHU volunteers spread out and working all over the campus. And we have a very firm help desk also, which coordinates with the administrative block and it coordinates with the vice principals. And the help desk is one hugely important aspect of the students' quality assurance cell. Next slide, please. Yeah, so as I've said, we are I'm just going to take up the 6 parts on the main parts of the NEP now and how my college responds to it and how not just my college, everyone's college can implement this. But the challenges, I draw your attention to the challenges here. The criterion-based grading system that the NEP wants, the comprehensive evaluation that the NEP wants. And forgive the spelling error there, the typographical error. My fat fingers have done the job, I think. The government ban on teacher recruitments. It's not BEN, it's BAN. Sorry about that. These things are hugely challenging for a 90-year-old woman like me. How do we take so many students in one class and comprehensively evaluate their progress? We have a very bad teacher to student ratio. We have a huge vacancy in terms of teachers. We have seen therefore also a drop in the admissions because people are now very smart. They will look at my website. They will see how many people in the department. They will see only so many. Why should we send you to this, shall my child to this college? The parent will ask. We are facing these challenges. The grading system, what the NEP wants, is also interdependent on the syllabus that we create for our students, the outcome that we want, and therefore these are the challenges of a multidisciplinarity, the multidisciplinarity. Next, please. Next slide, please. The NEP envisages autonomy for every college. It says that we will guarantee you creativity in case you get autonomy. They want to disinvest themselves of responsibility of higher education. For that, what is assured by them? That we will get a global level curriculum, we can have innovative pedagogies, we can have a consistency across institutions and programs. Yes. But what are the challenges for this aspect of the NEP? We do not have skilled curriculum designers. I'm very sorry to say. We do have a very huge lack of implemental pedagogies. Not everything can suit everyone. One size fits all nahi ho sakta. There is a huge lack of infrastructure and financial assistance from all HEI managements unless they are pumped with politicians' money. Not every college is backed by a rich politician. What do they do then? What can we do? Next, please. The ABC now, that is a very interesting concept. Though, again, the NEP has not specified the ways in which the academic bank of credits will work, but let us not lose hope. This is a good idea. And it is taken from the West, even though we want indigenizing and we want to make ourselves completely Indian in knowledge and Indian in heart. But the ABC system, which has come from the West, is very good. The cafeteria learning, which happens. Am I audible? I hope I'm audible. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am, you are audible, ma'am.
Yeah.
Please
So
continue.
what does the academic bank of credits say? It says design for your students credit-based courses. It says design courses to meet global standards of curriculum design. and pedagogy. Those courses need to be aligned with the whichever university you are. It has to be aligned with that ABC, with that academic bank. Now, the courses will have to stay relevant to the local religion and help employability, isn't it? The course that you will create, so that you get a credit for that course, you will teach the student X number of hours to get Y number of credits. That particular course has to stay relevant to the local religion, to the local region, and it has to help the employability for that region. The skill-based courses need to create pride and passion for one's own culture where they are. So there will be no brain drain. The credit-based courses need to follow Indian knowledge systems. These are all what the NEP says. I feel that the challenge is not here. There's no challenge here. Once the universities or once the NEP think tanks tell us how to do it and structure it in a particular way that there is not much confusion, the implementation then becomes possible. The university think tanks will set up the roadmaps, and the IQAC think tanks will regularize how it needs to be done. So therefore, if I want to study a course in astronomy from one of the top institutes in the country, while studying music, while studying cooking, while studying physics and geography, I can. Nobody will say, hey, ये हमारे यहाँ नहीं मिलता, ये आप नहीं कर सकते. जो हमारे इसमें दिया हुआ है वही करो. You can't say that. You can't say, why are you creating such a mess? जो चल रहा था वो अच्छा है ना? No. If we have to have 21st century global competencies, if we want to see our child prosper and be sitting next to presidents and foreign service officers, if we need to have a seat at every table, I hope you know the meaning of to have a seat at the table. If we want our students to have a seat at the table, it is possible, and the Academic Bank of Credits is a very, very good venture. Somebody is saying that slides are still at students' quality assurance cell. Somebody has mentioned it, sir. I can see the slide change, but somebody can't, I'm sure. So can we move on to the next slide? I'm talking about skill development courses now. I hope that participant is able to see this slide. The skill development which the NEP wants, we have SCARED courses. We call them SCARED in LED. And we have these, I'm not going to waste too much time in reading them out. I'd like you to just take a look. But I'm very proud of the kind of skill development courses that our college has envisioned, especially this acronym is a word given to us by one of our principals, the past principal. SCARED is a very good way of making do with whatever are the lacunas in my curriculum. I will make sure that I will create a skill development course, I will create a certificate course and get it going. Get it as approved by the university, lifelong learning department, get it done, get it passed through it, form a curriculum, get the experts in, start teaching, get the exam going. Just do it. We remember that logo by Nike, the sports brand, just do it. I use that motto a lot. I just do what I want to do. So we've had these three, four kinds of things. I have not mentioned everything. I have just put a few. I'm sure all the colleges know this. They know the way of getting skill development courses in and then slowly insert them into the regular curriculum that you will change for the NEP purpose. Yeah, so these are the various things, and we teach climate change, we teach critical thinking, we have 30 hours courses, 72-hour courses. Next slide, please. We tap talent. I'm quite proud of the Hunar Se Rozgar Tak. We'll talk about it later. We have outcome-based learning in my college. We have inclusive diversity programs. We have green initiatives. We have a certificate course in hydroponics. You think of whatever you want, आप ला सकते हो आपके कॉलेज में. बस सोचने की देर है. जो भी आपको लगता है कि अरे सरकार ये नहीं करके दे रही है, ये नहीं अच्छा है, वो नहीं अच्छा. Sometimes our vision is too small because we feel कि ये जो आजू बाजू है वो अच्छा ही तो है, उसमें क्या खराबी है. We are afflicted by that disease of thinking everything is fine. Try and understand, friends, maybe people from less advantaged positions than me. I understand. I come from a very entitled position, but I can't help it. I would like to share my entitlement with others and help them come to the same level. Equity, access and equity. Everything is possible. We do so much through all these kinds of initiatives in my college, and I'm sure all of you do it. We can just say NEP का already आधा काम हम कर चुके हैं, थोड़ा सा बाकी है. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. The distance education and the online education which the NEP wants, we can have IGNOU centers on campus. We can have collaborative teaching learning methodologies. We can partner with any college in the world. Such is the open access thing, and such is the open-mindedness of every teacher anywhere on the globe. We can have MOUs with foreign universities for blended learning modules. We can invite retired teachers as facilitators in administration and training. We can create short-term courses for employability in the areas of banking, insurance, caregiving. Very important. I have a relative in the hospital who is aged. I am sitting here at work. I need to send her dabba from home. How will I do it? Caregiving courses need to be, we need to train our students in caregiving and nursing courses, hospice training, cleaning, maintaining, propitiating in nurseries and gardens, public administration, civic belonging, Mera Gaon, Mera Desh. We have to make sure that this is a way that we can say, I belong. This is my new education policy. We can take up blended learning formats. They are useful. They are very easy. So many of us must have done courses on Coursera. Why not create your own course and put it up as a credit and tell the university, ये हमारा course है, हमारे कितने credits है बताइए. YouTube channels, Instagram Reels, Snapchat, gaming. Students are going to do it like this. They will teach us. We have to just be as fast as them in learning the new ways of living. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So in my college, we have a School of Languages and Media Studies. It's an interdisciplinary thing. So we share resources. It's not part of LED. It is called the Justice MLPNC School of Languages and Media Studies. And there we are focusing on that part of NEP, which talks about languages and Indian languages. We have spoken Sanskrit. We have Hindi translation from English, Hindi to English, English to Hindi. Plus we teach French affiliated to the Alliance Française, German affiliated to the Max Miller Bhavan, Japanese and Spanish, and the certificate course in Media Studies and Journalism. So many employment opportunities generated by this course. So many ways in which we can add to our curriculum vitae, add to our resumes. You and I can learn this from my college. We have to just be able to link it with those ABCs. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is a very important part of NEP. Dr. Pabrekar also dwelt a lot on this about the mother tongue. We have our Bachelor of Arts is taught in Marathi and Hindi medium. Bachelor of, along with English, of course, but we have that facility. Our college already has the mother tongue instruction for commerce. Those who are aspiring to be UPSC officers, they will find it very beneficial. They take up Marathi as a subject instead of supplementary English now. In fact, my workload is going down because people are taking Hindi and Marathi, which is a very good thing. Certificate courses in translation workshops, creative writing workshops. Even today, friends of mine in the newspapers of Lok Satta and Lokmat are moaning, Ruta, ek tari Marathi, kunal tari Marathi tari bolta hai taka, lita hai taka. Nobody knows how to write in Hindi, write well. Academic writing in Marathi and Hindi. We are very, very bad at any language. In Nagpur, to terribly bad. आम्हाला तो कुठलीच एक भाषा येत नाही. सगळी हिच-पिच, hodgepodge भाषा असतात. म्हणून तर ते शिकवावं लागतं. How can this translation, interpretation, and mother tongue knowledge be beneficial to students? They can translate university notices, directions from Marathi to Hindi, all the government resolutions, all the GRs. It's very, very important. We don't know how important it is because so much is lost in translation, and therefore the NEP has stressed on creation of the Indian Institute of Translation and Interpretation. It's going to come up soon. फक्त कसं होणार आहे आता माहिती नाही, कैसे होने वाला है, बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं या actually कुछ हो रहा है. Let us see next. Next slide, please. This is one of our translation workshops in my college. इतने प्यारे बच्चे हैं, हिंदी वाले आते हैं इंग्लिश सीखने के लिए, ये वाला भी एक माध्यम रहता है उनके लिए. Next slide, please. In our college, for the past 5 years, we've had a distinctive feature, which is incorporating multidisciplinarity in integrating Indian knowledge systems. So every year, friends, and you also may do that, it is the brainchild of my principal, we celebrated each year as this kind of literacy year. Water literacy, health literacy, mindfulness literacy, fitness literacy, and currently we are following the safety and security literacy year. So financial security hota hai, road security hoti hai, health safety and security hoti hai. So what we do is every year, in fact, the water literacy year was a very, very successful. Satyajit Bhatkar had come over. We had the Waterman of India coming over, Rajendra Singh, and it was a fantastic conference. It led to so many ways of water harvesting, water saving, lessening of the electricity. Only thing that we have not been able to do is to create a proper rainwater harvesting system and a proper installation of the solar panels. And I'm sure that our progressive management is going to do that as well. So these are the ways in which we can take up one theme from the NEP and पूर्ण एक वर्षभर ते राबवता येईल. एक वर्षभर एक साल पूरा वही एक लेके एक पार्ट ऑफ द NEP लेके सारे उपक्रम उसी एक विषय से लेके करेंगे. राइट फ्रॉम एनीथिंग, जो भी आपके सेल्स एंड कमिटीज है, सभी लोग एक ही चीज कर रहे हैं. इट बिकम्स अ वेरी गुड कंसोलिडेटेड एफर्ट फॉर बोथ टीचर्स एंड स्टूडेंट्स. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. We instituted the Kamlan Memorial Lecture, and I'm so proud and happy to say that the 2 Sahitya Akademi Award winners of 2020 and 2021 came and delivered lectures for us. And we instituted that from the Department of English, just so that the best minds in the country who are awarded, हमारे ही लोग, हमारे ही पास आके हमारे बच्चों को और टीचर्स को से बात करें. Arundhati Subramaniam spoke to us on a magical evening as to what it means to be a poet. And she took us through her journey of poetry. So हमारे सारे बच्चे और teachers were logging in and listening. She was sitting in the US. The best part of online and digital resources is that कहीं से कहीं भी हम लोगों को बुला सकते हैं. मैं हूँ आपके सामने from Nagpur, and that's the best part of this Zoom platform. Shanta Gokhale, just last week, 17th August को, she spoke on can we have some silence please. ये 2 विषय इतने ज्यादा अच्छे से हमें एक दूसरे planet पे लेके गए. And these women are, I salute both of them. One, Arundhati, was my classmate in the University of Bombay, and Shanta Gokhale's son, Girish Shahani, was my classmate. So maybe I have an advantage there. I was able to get a backdoor entry into these people. But let me tell you, the sky is the limit. You dream big, you can make it happen. Next slide, please. Yeah, so why did we institute the Kamlan Memorial Lecture? Again, if you take back the slide, please. We did that with a vision that we need to have one distinctive feature. Like universities institute a chair, a special chair. We instituted a memorial lecture. And that was the reason I said that we needed to have more of an intertextuality between science and commerce and arts. So we invite people who will speak to the public at large. So people from Nagpur also benefited. This is also a brainchild of the Students' Quality Assurance Cell. We have different types of clubs. The NEP says form all sorts of clubs, all sorts of events and groups and gatherings, and then slowly bring it into the mainstream curriculum. So culture katta yani kya? Suno re suno, we just beat a drum. Aika re aika, aika ho. One student just does this. People look around, what's happening? They just gather and somebody says something. somebody just starts dancing, somebody plays the flute, somebody starts talking upon a subject. ये एलईडी कॉलेज में यूनिफॉर्म्स हमें नहीं चाहिए. अरे भाई क्यों नहीं चाहिए? अच्छा है. नहीं नहीं वो अच्छा नहीं है. There starts a debate. No notice, no formal hall, just एक पेड़ के नीचे कहीं भी मन आ जाए, like a Shanti Niketan. We encourage culture katta for freedom of expression, freedom of knowing yourself, self-awareness, self-esteem development, self-consciousness. Art adda, कुछ भी, draw, sketch, you can paint a wall. ये गंदी दिख रही है ये वाली दीवार, चलो I'll give you paint, let's film up. Film club is affiliated to the Federation of Film Societies. The book club, we partner with the Vidarbha Literary Festival and we get authors to come and talk to our students online discussing the latest books. We have dance clubs, music clubs, street plays, impromptu debates, encouraging spot sketching, open air discussion. We learn how to be with others. And in the process, क्या होता है? Let me share with you, my friends. We give the students so much freedom कि करो, करने से responsibility अपने आप को ले लेते हैं, करने से organization सीखते हैं, करने से problem solving सीखते हैं, करने से involvement बढ़ती है और cultural diversity जो है, एक काव्या नाम की लड़की बेचारी paraplegic है, everybody helps her along, but nobody handholds her. She is very independent. She says, नहीं मुझे मत पकड़ो. We respect that also. We allow so much space, how to be patient, how to listen to others, how to think about others. So this is the way in LED we implement the NEP and we skill the graduates. The skilling the graduates at LED takes place in this particular way. Please continue. Next slide. So our very good brainchild of our students 4 years ago was the Aura Cultural Fest. और ऐसे ही 5 बच्चे मेरे पास आए, वी आर गेटिंग बोर्ड इन कॉलेज, हमको इंटर कॉलेजिएट फेस्टिवल नहीं है हमारे कॉलेज में, इट्स ओनली विद इन द कॉलेज, चलो हमको चाहिए. सो वी टॉट देम हाउ टू राइट अ स्टेटमेंट ऑफ पर्पस, हाउ टू राइट अ प्रपोजल, हाउ टू राइट अ नोटिस टू गेट इट गोइंग. I taught them how to use their brains. They came to me, so it was me. It could have been any other teacher. They came to me because I'm in charge of students' quality assurance cell. They came to me because I'm their English teacher and I'm as mad as they are. So they feel connected to the teacher. So they will come and talk to the teacher. If you come and listen to the students, you will know what they want. Once you know what they want, we are there to provide for them. What did my students in organizing the first ever intercollegiate festival in LED in those 85 years? They learned organizational structuring. They learned how to work under a team. And I threw them in at the deep end. I said, tum karo, tumko chahiye na, tum karo. They came back to me with a proper proposal, a proper SOP. I just told them, ye chahiye, aisa likho. They were smart enough, intelligent enough, resourceful enough to come back with a written text. They had mentors, core committee, organizing committee, volunteers, fundraising, sponsorship, press and publicity, digital marketing. क्या नहीं सीखा ये बच्चियों ने. Or what is the age of these students? They were second year students, 19-year-old young adults. We brought in 2.5 lakh rupees in the first year in sponsorships. We were so proud of it. We used that amount we used to build up the infrastructure. बच्चों को ही दिया infrastructure development, इस प्रकार से किया. So we create spaces of learning, spaces of growing for the students on campus, and it's not difficult. Next slide, please. We also have this is a very good thing that we do also. We have, all of us on campus have some visually challenged student or somebody with or some differently abled student. So we have created a directory of writers for visually challenged students. We have created we give special attention to visually challenged students in the classroom. We have peer mentoring for all handicapped students. Ramps and wheelchairs आपके पास भी होंगे. पिछले साल हमने audio book reader लिया for the blind students. What do? We identify, we include, we give access to all programs, and we allow equitable distribution of opportunity. वो शंकर सर ने एक अच्छा ये दिया था visual कि there are 3 boys and the shortest boy has the tallest stool. we try and do that in LED as well. Next slide, please. This is the way our past vice principal and now CAO, Dr. Harsha Jharia, she does a lot of work in the textile department. And here is just one sample of a block printing workshop. We encouraged the students for the differently abled to participate as participants to learn block printing, and they were seriously thrilled with their efforts. Next slide, please. We have a wonderful startup ecosystem in LED. We have Seisha. We manufacture low-cost detergents, soaps, and liquid floor cleaners. We have an earn values learn scheme in place. लाइब्रेरी का स्टाफ खत्म हो गया है, कम हो गया है, तो मैंने अपने बच्चों को एसक्यू के बच्चों को भेज दिया, चलो आप जाके एक घंटा आपके फ्री लेक्चर में जाके लाइब्रेरी मैम को मदद करो. सिमिलरली इन द कैंटीन, माय कैंटीन बेचारी इंदू गेट सो हैसल, बहुत लोग है, बहुत भीड़ है, 5 students just go man the counters, keep discipline, they have their tags, SQAC volunteers के, things run smoothly. We help the students earn a little bit of stipend. The stationery outlet, paper ink also, we did not have a stationery outlet. बच्चों को बाहर जाना पड़ता था. The SQAC runs the stationery outlet. Now, Seva is a big committee which involves in community outreach. We collect money to help needy students, even from outside, and small businesses by women entrepreneurs. Stalls लगते हैं और इतना ज़्यादा successful है वो venture कि बाहर की औरतें college में आके they can have a space for developing their entrepreneurship. We create compost, we recycle merchandise, we can also learn how to make apps. Our applied electronics department has made a digital app for students. All colleges can collaborate with ITIs, can collaborate with NGOs, can collaborate with the industry. And in my vision, for me, what I want in my college is a course in creating sound engineers, visual effect technicians, event managers, and executive and administrative assistants. मेरा दिमाग चल रहा है अभी मैं कैसे क्या ये sound engineering वाला कैसे लाऊं? Because suddenly I want a program and that particular person who is in charge of the soundtrack is not there. He's on leave. तो क्या program नहीं हो सकता? No, impossible. There will be second plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. बहुत सारे होने चाहिए हर एक institution में. And the students help in doing this. We have to give them places to learn these skills. They can learn these skills and get jobs on their own elsewhere. Next slide, please. This is my paper ink का दुकान, छोटा सा है, expansion चल रहा है, but it's very popular. It started like this on the left hand side, छोटू सा था. Now we have a nice outlet. Next slide, please. Training and internships for employability is absolutely important, friends. You are doing it. It's not at all difficult. We have to have teacher training workshops. More importantly, on how to implement the NEP. And that I feel Paparekar sir can do. MSFDA can help with in collaborations. Most importantly, we should have, the smallest college anywhere, should have access to international internships for global competencies. And who can do that? That hand-holding can be done through lead colleges in the district or multidisciplinary college in any city. Next, please. This is Hunar se Rozgar tak. Hunar se Rozgar. Whatever talent you have is translated into employability. Anything, pottery, making footwear, making umbrellas, not just pickle making and papad making for women. No. We must know, we have in our college, we have a proper carpentry shed and a tool shed. We can make furniture. Our Bachelor of Interior Design workshops are furniture making workshops, are terracotta workshops, and we sell them in the annual Kruti exhibition. We sell them in the Fate during the Aura Cultural Festival. It's a 5-day event and people wait for it. So, but this is one only I'm telling you, there are many. Hunar se Rozgar tak is in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism. The Hotel Management Department of my college imparts training for avenues of employment in the hospitality industry. So you see here, boys and girls, they learn on the job. Actually, hotel mein kaise hota hai, or actually kya karna chahiye. And that is how they are able to be placed at a basic level, nevertheless, but at least wo thoda sa to bhi kuch hai. Next, please. So there are multiple challenges. There are multiple challenges in the NEP which my college is going to face. The diversity in individual institutional development plans. ये कैसे होने वाला है? Institution development plans कैसे बनाएगा? How do we support different diverse student cohorts? There's a word, student cohorts. We can create basic structures of student mobility within the institutions in clusters. मेरा बच्चा जाके वो वाले कॉलेज में, यहाँ पे कॉमर्स का डिपार्टमेंट बहुत अच्छा है, मेरा बच्चा वहाँ आपके कॉमर्स के डिपार्टमेंट में जाके वो वाला हिस्सा पढ़ के आए. Similarly, if we know that certain teachers are very good in their subject, we push. We don't feel कि है ऐसा क्यों वैसा क्यों. We make sure that we use those resources. Also, like we is told in NEP, we have to create topic-centered, student-centric clubs for music, literature, science, maths, physiology, anatomy, dance, drama, whatever. Clubs करो. My next project is going to tell the principal, I'm going to tell कि agriculture club चाहिए मुझे. And agriculture club, we have 26 acres, farming करते हैं. क्यों नहीं? सब्जियां उगाएंगे. One part of my premises is I have kept as a meditation space. हरियाली बनाई है. We have created a meditation green nook. मुझे शांति चाहिए 2 मिनट, बहुत चबर हो रहा है. I want to go and sit there. थोड़ा सा म्यूजिक रहेगा, नहीं रहेगा कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. Just a small space where I can be myself. What about indigenizing a colonial mindset that is clinging to the English medium and always looking westward? English पे इतना ध्यान. We don't realize कि our basic Indian languages also are very important. English is always not the most reliable thing. Setting up high quality support centers. What does the policy assure is, and I've quoted from the policy document, adequate funds and academic resources to carry this out effectively. ये कहाँ से आएगा? I am तो skeptical, but I am hopeful. Quality support centers कहाँ से होंगे? कौन से होंगे? Funds or academic resources we will give. The NEP says we will give. It assures. We don't know. Next slide, please. What about philanthropy and the NEP? आपको ढूंढना पड़ेगा, हमको ढूंढना पड़ेगा कि philanthropists आपके आजू बाजू में कौन है, so that we can put in place student welfare schemes, daycare centers for older children, activity centers for situational skilling. आज ये चाहिए तो कहाँ से मिलेगा? कुछ कोर्स करना पड़ेगा, 30 hours. No. Short, sweet, direct, going in, going out. Care of the aged is very, 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 very important. Our children should know how to care for the aged. I want cleanliness on every road, street, gully, nukkad. कैसे होगा? Mindset बदलना चाहिए. कौन देगा? पैसा कहाँ से आएगा? खुद से शुरू कर सकते हैं. Solid waste management schemes चाहिए. Water security, clean air security, food security. These are the areas which I see need people to be educated on. And the national education policy, in some way or the other, has focused on these, and maybe it is going to be possible. We can start. Next, please. We can make it happen. Making it happen is, it's there in the NEP. मैंने NEP से लिया है. How to make it happen? ये 4 चीजें बताई हुई हैं कि Central Advisory Board of Education. But उसमें problem क्या है? That Central Board of Education जो हमको बोला है कि हमारे पास है, आप आके मिलो, it should be easily accessible. पता चलता है कि वो एक्सेस ही नहीं मिलता है टीचर्स को या इंस्टीट्यूशंस को. फिर सेकेंड पॉइंट इन मेकिंग इट हैपन, NEP बोलते हैं कि फाइनेंसिंग द NEP वे, बट इट शुड बी अफोर्डेबल बाय ऑल. द विजन ऑफ द NEP कि ऐसा करो वैसा करो, कैन इट सस्टेन एनी चाइल्ड फ्रॉम एनी बैकग्राउंड एंड मेक इट अफोर्डेबल. क्वालिटी अश्योरेंस, इट्स ऑफन लॉस्ट इन ट्रांसलेशन. क्वालिटी नहीं मिलती. क्वालिटी implementation, we are always big on ideas. हाँ ये करेंगे वो करेंगे, कैसे, how to make it happen is incumbent upon the NEP also to tell us. Accountability, that was the last point in the first slide. That is the biggest challenge of the NEP. Who is accountable? Students will always question us. Students will question us. हम आपके कॉलेज में आए हैं, हम ये BA का कोर्स, BTech का कोर्स, इंजीनियरिंग का कोर्स, मेडिसिन का कोर्स सीख रहे हैं, After finishing the course, हमें पता चलता है हमें कुछ नहीं आता. We teachers are accountable. The national education policy is accountable. We have to be accountable to our future citizens. It's a very, very serious thing that I urge you to remember, friends. Next slide, please. This is some visuals from my college. Teachers who are there, who are with our students. If you zoom into the small pictures there, you will see a Miss LED contest, you will see a prize distribution, you see an opening of a fete. Such pictures are there in every college. Mine is not an exception. We all do tree planting, we all do dance dramas, we all do theater, we all listen at a guest lecture, we all do best out of waste competitions. This is what is life. Our students wait to be participants in these competitions, events. This is socialization. This is cross-cultural diversity. This is being green. Aankhon ko hara dikhna chahiye. Teachers have to make sure that our students get what they have come to college for. And I think the NEP has given us a roadmap of being able to make that holistic development for any child. Next slide, please. So we teachers are the backbone of the NEP, friends. We are the dream catchers. Many of us have seen this visual. We teachers are the dream catchers. Teachers should be those who want to teach. कौन है teacher? एक teacher होता है और एक guru होता है. Teachers should be those who prepare before their class. Teachers who are ideators. The backbone of the NEP are those teachers who are ideators, who are reliable, who care, who can communicate, who can speak the language well. The teacher should have warmth and humor. And most importantly, the teacher should teach. Next slide, please. Thank you. And that was my description of what happens in LED College according to the NEP as envisioned. It was just a presentation to just share with you that if I can do it in my college, so can you. हम कोई बड़े great नहीं हैं. We just happen to have many disciplines and many faculties. You can stop sharing the screen, sir. If we can do it in a college which is what can you say, basically art, science, commerce on 2 campuses and with only a single gender, I'm sure all of you can. Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, dear madam. It was a wonderful, indeed, an amazing lecture. It was mesmerizing as well. And it just happened because you keep going, no? And we all know that the world is too much with us, as William Wordsworth has said.
Yes.
And we have all the facilities. We can make all the facilities available if we want, as you have done. Very wonderful examples, very wonderful instances that you have created a bloom in your college for your students. And indeed, it was an ideal one for all of us. As you said, if you can do it, anyone can do it. And that is what we need to step into your footsteps for that purpose, at least. Thank you so much on behalf of our college. We take this opportunity. We are indeed grateful to you because you have shown a very wonderful path where light exists for guidance forever. Yeah, thank you so much, dear madam.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. Lohokare madam? Hello?
Yes, yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Madam, can we deal with the questions if there are any right now?
Yeah.
Yes, madam. Yes,
Yeah.
madam. You can ask for questions. Actually, there is question from Sondge sir.
Okay.
His question is, ma'am, kindly focus on placement and industry education. and then institution linkages and so on.
So training and placement, I feel that much needs to be done on training part rather than the placement part. Most of us, for my college, we have two, as you have seen, we have technical education departments as well as arts, science, commerce. Now, most of our students, we motivate to go towards higher learning, to postgraduate courses. But we do have placement cells in play. The placement cell works where mostly BPOs or people who require graduates or the Tata group of institutions, they require a particular brand of student to work at its corporate offices. They reach out and they themselves train. So if we want to focus on what kind of placement our pedagogy has told us, we have to look for industries, and we have to look for businesses or companies within our area as well as outside, and engage in a dialogue with them. Not that we have to wait for them to come, but we must make sure that we have to reach out. Like the research funding, we have to keep on looking at government. For government, we have to keep on looking at the various industries that are mushrooming around us, various opportunities that, and then we have to target them, say, "Oh, this is the place where we can place our students." We have to do a lot of hand holding there for our students as well. We have to create the opportunities to have campus drives, placement drives.
Thank you, madam.
One more thing which I feel,
Yeah.
this is a very good question actually, because if we talk about employability, and I keep thinking about this, one very consistent complaint which we get to hear from the industry is that none of our students are employable, that they have to teach everything all over again. So even though we don't have a new pedagogy or a new syllabus or a curriculum in place, we are very well aware of what skills are required outside the college. So if we can tap into the required industry need and we can skill them outside the syllabus, but within the campus walls, then we can create a proper synergy and a proper bridge between classroom and corporate room. We need to think on that.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, now no more question now from the participant side, ma'am. Shall I conclude, Sangeeta madam? Sangeeta Uchar madam?
Yes, yes, madam, sure.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Now I am here to express a vote of thanks. At first, I express my sincere vote of thanks to Principal Dr. V.K. Bhosle sir for his kind support and continuous guidance for organizing such kind of FDP, online FDP. I express my sincere thanks to Vice Principal Dr. Sangeeta Uchar madam for comparing the session. Thank you, ma'am. I express my sincere thanks to Dr. Ruta Dharmadhikari madam, resource person of the 5th day of online FDP. Thank you, madam, for accepting our invitation, and you upgraded us in relation to how to improve means all the activities are student centric, and you have given your college example, and definitely this is the beginning, or we can say that we can also start such kind of activities in our college also. So thank you, madam, for enlightening us for this for all these things. At last, I express my sincere thanks to all the participants for joining us for this session. Before I leave, I would like to make one announcement. Tomorrow is the valedictory program of FDP, and we have with us Dr. R.T. Bedre sir, who is a professor director, UGC HRDC, Dr. Hari Singh Gaur, Sagar Vishwavidyalay, Sagar, Madhya Pradesh, and he is going to give his speech on decolonizing the higher education and NEP. So we will start our valedictory program sharp at 4 p.m. So I request all the participants to be present at 4 o'clock sharp. Now with this, I would like to declare the session is over. Thank you one and all. Shubha Ratri.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sangeeta ma'am. Thank you so much. May I
My
leave now?
pleasure.
Can I leave?
My pleasure. Yes, sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Loakari. So nice interacting with you.
Yes.
खूप छान माहिती दिली मॅडम. खूप छान.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Hope it was useful for all of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Indeed, it provided a kind of roadmap. Thank you.
My pleasure. At any time. I'd like to take your leave now. Thank you.
Sure.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes, ma'am.
Madam, ask Dr. Sarnaik sir to conclude the meeting.